Welcome back, friends. So in the previous section we discussed about employee engagement as a current trend in human resource management. So in continuation we will discuss some other trends also. So the next trend that we are going to discuss today is employee empowerment. Employee empowerment is both a trend as well as a challenge. So first understand what is employee empowerment. Empowerment means giving workers greater responsibility for decision making, thereby increasing their involvement in controlling work processes. And some researchers have considered empowerment as a tool for employee engagement. So when we have empowered employees, they will automatically become engaged because they consider themselves to be valued, to be respected, to become a part of decision making. So it improves their engagement. So employee empowerment is somehow also correlated or connected to employee engagement. So empowerment means more decision making, greater responsibility in being a part of the decision making. Now, how do organizations empower their employees? So these are some of the extrinsic employee empowerment techniques, that giving them sufficient, timely, relevant information to perform their job, giving them the right resources and tools to perform their job, giving them sufficient autonomy while performing, and of course decision making. So all these aspects empower an employee to work efficiently and effectively. So can you imagine working effectively if you do not have the information of how to do that job, whom to report to, or whom to go if I have any problem doing that job? Or can you imagine performing your job if you don't have the right resources or the correct software to perform your job, or the autonomy, you don't have the right to take decisions of your own? So all these strategies or all these factors, we can say, empower an employee, but it is in the hands of the leaders or the top management to decide on how much they can empower their employees. So greater empowerment is associated with higher internal motivation, more job satisfaction, higher organizational commitment, involvement in job and extra job roles. So this is where engagement comes into play. We said that engagement means more involvement in doing extra job roles. So empowerment and engagement are associated, and bringing in more creativity and innovation, thereby reducing the job stress. So whenever you are empowered to do the job you are doing your way, you can bring in more of creativity and more of innovation. Instead, if your boss just comes and tells you that you have to do this job only this way, you can't apply your brains, you don't put in your creativity, so that means you are not empowering your employees, not letting them do their job their way. So when organizations empower their employees, there is greater motivation and more job satisfaction, leading to organizational commitment and of course employee retention. So organizations today have started realizing the importance of allowing the employees to make independent decisions and act on them. So a very great example of employee empowerment has been Southwest Airlines. It focused heavily on employee empowerment in its management training, letting the airplane crew make all the decisions they need to run safely, on time and on budget. So they were given the autonomy to do their job in their own manner. So Jack Welch, former CEO of General Electric, also focused on transforming the company into an empowered organization. And how he did so? He did so by encouraging teamwork across divisions and autonomy in deciding operations related to maintenance, thereby giving results. So the next current trend is cloud computing. You must have heard of this term a number of times. Cloud computing means storing and accessing data and programs over the internet instead of your computer's hard drive. So cloud here is just a metaphor for the internet. So there's not an actual cloud is not there, but it is just a metaphor for the internet. So the HR department has been largely affected by cloud computing, and several organizations today are moving towards cloud-based HR systems and leveraging its competencies. It is driving the efficiency and productivity of organizations on a global level. Now let's understand some of the applications of cloud-based technology. So the cloud-based recruitment software, for example, can simplify the entire recruitment and the selection process, and it does so by doing certain activities like from screening the candidates to sifting through applications to ultimately hiring and onboarding them. It helps in taking intelligent hiring decisions without any bias. The training and learning process. So how does cloud-based technology help in the training and learning process? It is a centralized repository. The cloud becomes a centralized repository of training material in the form of online lessons, videos, presentations, and audio files, and these files or these programs are maintained on the cloud, and it is highly helpful in educating, training, and developing employees at their own pace, and which can be done in a very effective manner. So it is not necessary that I have to go to the physical organization, sit there and undergo a training or a learning program. I can sit back at my home, at my place, and I can learn these training modules at the pace of my understanding. So if I am not comfortable, if I haven't understood that particular module, I may repeat that. So it is helpful in educating, training, and developing employees at their own pace. The next trend today in globalized work scenario is work from anywhere. So earlier we used to say work from home, where the employees were not working in physical offices, but they were working in their homes. But the current pandemic situation have shifted this work from home to the current and more contemporary work from anywhere. So organizations are not bothered whether you are working from the office, your home, a coffee shop, or a beach, or even an airport. So the work must be done. So work from anywhere is a very new concept. So employees are performing their job from a variety of locations apart from the office or the home. Like I said, a coffee shop can be a good place where you can sit and work. So the concept that grants the employee a sense of enjoyment while working. So while working in such environment, there is a lot of enjoyment and de-stressing of employees. So flexibility to work from the comfort of their homes or any other place they may be at. So the work is not disrupted or not disturbed. If you are traveling, if you are at the airport, you can work there also. So it is relief from the stress of juggling in traffic jams while commuting to offices. We all know that if you live in metros and you have to reach your office, you have to juggle a lot of traffic jams. So there are delays and obviously your performance will also be hampered. So when you are working in any such environment, sitting at a beach or at your home or at a coffee shop, you are de-stressed and relief from stress of juggling in these jams while commuting is there. So the employer is saving on the cost of maintaining a physical office, the hiring support staff, transportation to employees, etc. So we can say that this concept or this trend of work from anywhere is beneficial for both the employee and the employer. So it is a win-win situation for both of them. The employee enjoys the work environment he is comfortable sitting home. They can, especially for female workers, they can look after their kids, they can look after the household chores, and the employer saves a lot of cost, while of course maintaining a physical office is a costly affair. So it is a win-win situation for both the employee and the employer. So several companies are considering either entire remote working, or there can be a hybrid model where the employees have the option to work from anywhere for maybe say 3 days and attend the physical office for 2 days. So it can be 3:2 or it can be 4:1. So these are hybrid models. So instead of completely allowing employees to work from anywhere, there can be a hybrid model where you come to the office for a set number of days and then you can work from anywhere for another set of days. So certain examples here I would like to state are that of Twitter, Facebook, Novartis. These are offering such flexibility to their employees to work from anywhere. So the next trend that we are going to discuss today, a very important trend and a challenge as well, is that of reskilling and upskilling. So it is one of the greatest challenges faced by human resources right now is building a workforce that is agile enough to adapt to the ever changing world of work. So as I have stated this a number of times, that organizations are operating in an ever changing work environment, and due to these changes the employees also have to change. They have to be agile, they have to be adaptive, and they have to reskill themselves. So we talked of technological advancements. So if you are not skilled enough and technology changes at a very fast pace, so you cannot, if you are unable to catch up to the pace of technological advancements, your performance will drop, and ultimately the organization is going to be affected. So it is very important to reskill and upskill the employees, and this conversation of reskilling and upskilling began due to increased automation in workplaces and the advent of remote work, as we discussed right now. So the World Economic Forum's 2018 Future of Jobs report, it predicted that by 2022 75 million jobs will be displaced by emerging technologies. So these jobs will become redundant, but 133 million new roles are expected to be created by the same technological advances. So these technological advancements are limiting certain jobs, but it is also creating new jobs, new roles also. So that's a good news for people in the workforce, but that good news need them to be reskilled and upskilled. But these new jobs require relevant training, they require a certain skill set so that they can perform in a better manner. Now let's first understand the difference between the two terms reskilling and upskilling. While both upskilling and reskilling imply to learning new skills, so that is obvious that when we say upskilling and reskilling means we are learning something new, but the context in what we are saying is crucial differentiator. Let's understand this concept. So upskilling primarily focuses on helping employees become more skilled and relevant at their current position. So if I am working at a current position, I need upskilling so that I can perform my present job in a better manner, in an effective, efficient manner. So that is upskilling. But when we say reskilling, it focuses on making employees available for other jobs within the organization. But for example, if my job is changed, we know that in job rotation an employee is transferred to various other departments within an organization. So when I am shifted from one department to the other, I need to be reskilled, because there I will be doing certain other jobs which I had not done earlier. But why is reskilling and upskilling so critical now? So, why we are talking of reskilling and upskilling as a current trend in human resource management? So, let us understand this. So, to stand out from the rest of the competition, both domestically and internationally, companies need to differentiate themselves. So, we all know that the human resource or the people of an organization are the key enablers or the key differentiators. They differentiate one organization from the other, because a product, a process can be imitated, but people cannot be imitated. So, it is the people who differentiate a successful and a unsuccessful organization. So, these people have to be reskilled and upskilled so that they can become competent for the future. Then the financial crisis faced by businesses due to the pandemic. Due to the pandemic, the organizations have faced a lot. So, they need to rebuild their organizations, they need to restructure their organizations, and now they need reskilling and upskilling of their employees. So, today organizations are operating in industry 4.0, and it is characterized by artificial intelligence and automations, and these are transforming and disrupting established roles and professions at an unparalleled pace. So, as I already said that technology can be a boon and a bane. So, with artificial intelligence and number of other cloud computing, number of other technological advancements, newer roles, newer jobs are coming into organizations, but we also need people to be performing these jobs. So, for this purpose, the organization needs to reskill and upskill their workforce. So, an agile, diverse and creative workforce that is continuously learning, adapting, acquiring and perfecting new skills is absolutely essential today. So, I will give an example of AT&T. It has taken the initiative of upskilling and reskilling by focusing on collaborations with online education platforms offering online learning opportunities, including personalized learning experiences in a career portal that helps employees plan their future and identify skills they need to learn. Similarly, Accenture invested nearly $1 billion in 2021 on reskilling its workforce. Connected learning platform, which is a blend of classroom and digital learning opportunities with content from internal and external subject experts, is also in the Accenture. Similarly, Amazon launched its upskilling 2025 initiative named Mechatronics and Robotics Apprenticeship Program as a part of its commitment to prepare workers for a more digitized workplace in the future. So, it is a two-phased program where employees attend their classes and receive on-the-job training in preparation for work as technicians. So, the next trend that we are going to talk of today is knowledge management. So, knowledge management is a multidisciplinary approach to achieve organizational objectives by using knowledge. So, whenever an employee enters an organization, he brings knowledge with him, and there is certain knowledge he gains while working in that organization. But if that employee leaves the organization, that knowledge goes with him. So, we should take care of this. So, knowledge management may also be understood as the collection of methods relating to creating, sharing, using and managing the knowledge and information of an organization in a more effective manner. The objective of knowledge management is to create a learning culture so as to promote knowledge sharing. So, it ensures that the specialized knowledge of employees does not leave with them or go unutilized by other employees who could benefit from that knowledge. So, why is knowledge management important? It is important because by ensuring that all employees have access to the overall expertise held within the organization, a smarter and a better skilled workforce can be built. and it also enhances the organization's decision making ability. So, why is knowledge management important? Because it leads to innovation. So, customers benefit from increased access to best practices that are streamlined processes, and of course, it reduces employee turnover. So, according to Ashwathappa, knowledge is a human attribute, and human resources professionals are the right people who can manage knowledge effectively. So, the role of HR in creating, storing and sharing knowledge involves attracting, developing, rewarding and retaining the human capital, building a knowledge focused culture, providing appropriate technology that facilitates knowledge management, making top management committed to knowledge management. So, their involvement, the involvement of the top management is very important while managing the knowledge, and ensuring that knowledge management is aligned with the business strategy, and creating appropriate forums such as workshops, seminars, conferences where employees can share their knowledge with their peers. So, let us take an example. Deloitte, for example, offers a knowledge management practice to help organizations share and retain vast amounts of knowledge by implementing digital workplace tools such as knowledge management strategies, workflow processes, governance models, search engines, etc. So, the next very important and very interesting current trend of human resource management is the gig economy or gig workers. So, you might have come across this phrase, gig worker. So, it is a free and a global market where companies and independent workers set some short term and on demand professional relationship that is temporary, flexible and skill based, or it may be understood to be about individuals who sell their skills to all size companies on a part time basis for a short period and are paid per assignment. So, they are not permanent workers of an organization, and such organizations are not we can say physical organizations or traditional organizations. They are basically platforms that bring the user and the seller at one place. So, these gig based platforms allow people to use their expertise and abilities to earn money on a short term and on demand basis jobs. So, the people come from a variety of backgrounds and they join it for different reasons. For example, it may be a primary source of income, or others may have it as a supplement. For example, if I am working as a professor in a university, but I also have a knack of writing, so I might join as a gig worker in some website whereby I am contributing as a content writer. So, there I become a gig worker. So, this is my supplement income. Now, why are people working on gig economy? Because number one, there is no need for a formal degree or a qualification. A web developer, a blogger, a content developer doesn't need a degree of web development or a blogging. These are jobs which are done out of passion, out of interest. And today, as we already said and learnt, that there are more millennials in the workforce today who demand challenging jobs that are non-monotonous. So, these are interest based tasks. So, if I have interest in writing, in logo designing, in blogging, so I can be a gig worker. So, it also allows workers to work independently. So, at times there are number of people who do not want their boss to tell how to work. So, gig workers are mostly working independently. If I am writing for a website, so I will be writing on my own terms and conditions, and nobody is going to impose that how I have to write. So, these workers, they work independently. Then these digital platforms have created a large scale marketplaces for workers to connect with buyers, and they give work to a large share of the population that is unemployed or is inactive, but they still want to work. And lastly, it also helps businesses to find people with specialized skill sets, but for a short term projects. The internet and big data has allowed for gig economy to thrive. So today all that we need is a Wi-Fi to buy or sell products or services and making business and money. So thanks to cloud-based platforms that have brought independent workers and clients together. So some organizations that use gig economy are Upwork and Fiverr. They are freelance services apps for logo designing, website designing or video making, etc. And Uber is also one of the transport app that we use. It also uses gig workers. They are not permanent employees of Uber or they are not permanent employees of Fiverr. These are freelance services, freelance workers. So friends, to conclude, I would say that all these trends have made the study of human resource management not only interdisciplinary but also wider in perspective, covering a lot of functional areas globally. So we study ethics, we study engagement, we study technology, we study artificial intelligence. So all these trends, all these challenges have made human resource management an interdisciplinary subject, and we must have the knowledge of all these subjects to understand what is human resource management per se. Thank you.